Welcome everybody to the 40th Annual Australian Science Teachers Association iCubed Awards ceremony. My name's Dan and I'll be co-hosting this evening along with some incredible special guests. I'd like to thank them in advance for joining us to celebrate Australia's talented young scientists. I come to you from Canberra, from Ngunnawal land, and it's a beautiful Canberra day here today, and I want to pay my respects to the traditional custodians of the Ngunnawal people here in Canberra, but I also want to pay my respects to all traditional custodians of country throughout Australia, and pay my respect to the elders of the land in which everybody here teaches and learns. I want to acknowledge any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people here today. And I invite you to use the chat function at the bottom of your screen. I'd love to see, and we'd all love to see, whether you know the local name of the land that you're coming from today. So if you want to pop that into the chat, we can see the vast diversity of people that are here this afternoon. We have a packed evening ahead of us. We have several categories of awards being announced, and we have the opportunity to hear from our 8 semi-finalists who are here with us today, who are up for the ASTA iCubed Grand Awards. We have people from across Australia, as I've said, who've zoomed in, and it's amazing to have everybody here today. Welcome. A quick bit of housekeeping. If you're not speaking, please make sure your microphone is on mute. And we will be recording these sessions so that we can promote all your amazing work. We would like you all to celebrate the winners when announced. We are virtual, so that adds some extra challenges. We can't all cheer and clap and jump out of our seats. But on Zoom, there is a button down the bottom that's titled Reactions, and you can click through that. You can give a clap, you can give a heart, you can give a thumbs up. And we really encourage you to promote the incredible work today using your virtual hands to commend our winners. Later on, we're going to be going into virtual break rooms so that you can hear from one of the semi-finalists to learn more about their project. And I'll provide you with further instructions later on in the program. Now, to officially open the ASTA iCubed Science Awards ceremony, it's my great pleasure to introduce you to the Australian Science Teachers Association President, Margaret Shepherd.
Thank you, Dan. I nearly forgot to unmute myself. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today for this very special event where we all come together, especially to celebrate Australia's amazing youth. The ASTA iCubed Science Awards program celebrates the 3 I's: inquiry, innovation, and ingenuity. This is across Australian school students of STEM from all of the states of Australia. So therefore, it's supported by the Science Teachers Associations of every state and territory in order to be a truly national program. The ASTA iCubed Awards targets primary and secondary school students across Australia, with a special emphasis on engaging all students from our diverse cultural, socioeconomic, and geographical populations. The awards program seeks to inspire and motivate the next generation of scientists, innovators, and problem solvers by providing an opportunity for students such as yourselves to showcase your specific scientific talents and creativity. You are competing against students from all around Australia. You are very special to be here tonight. Over the last 2023, students have been very busy working as scientists, working as engineers, developing scientific reports. In fact, over 7,000. And they were judged by their state fairs and competitions across the nation. What we are seeing here tonight is the exemplary projects that have been submitted for further judging and recognition. These are truly the best of the best. I encourage you all to view these projects at the virtual fair on the iCubed Awards portal. We're very pleased to welcome and recognise Questacon as a silver sponsor, who are sponsoring the Excellence Awards for the best projects within the age category. We're also pleased to announce that UNICEF will be awarding a prize to a project that aligns with their humanitarian work. I'd also like personally here to thank and acknowledge the expertise of the senior judging panel members. They've come from an amazing range of venues. We've got the Academy of Science, 2 fellows from the Academy of Science, Deakin University, the Australian Academy of Technological Sciences and Engineers, IBM, UNSW, and Australia's Academic and Research Network. And all of these people very generously donated their time to the program. The projects entered into our national program in 2023 and are simply remarkable, and they deserve to be recognised here tonight. We thank the audience for being with us as we announce for the first time our ASTA iCubed Award winners. So on behalf of the science teachers across the nation, your work is truly extraordinary, and we are very proud and inspired by your commitment to science and its ability to improve society and to look after our environment.
Thank you, Margaret. It's really incredible how amazing these young people are, and how they can make a difference, and through their scientific investigations are already contributing to a growing body of scientific knowledge, both here in Australia and even around the world. Now, I would like to introduce our main host for the ceremony, an inspirational wildlife scientist, science communicator, author, and vessel operator who continues to conduct her own investigations all around the world in the most wonderful locations. We're going to watch a small video segment to introduce our special guest, our incredible host. And you may have already seen her in the media. And so let's watch this short little video.
But whether it's taken you this very moment to think about the ocean, we should all be doing this more often. Because I'm here to remind you that the ocean is important to us all. And I'm Vanessa Perotta, and welcome to The Breach, where every day is hump day. Built a waterproof drone with Petri dish for collecting whale snot. Waterproof drones with remotely operated Petri dishes.
Like Antarctica.
Due to awareness around protecting our oceans, not only within Australia, but hopefully around the world. I'm in the Amazon in Bolivia. This is amazing, and I'm completely overwhelmed by this really cool experience.
Hello again, Dr. Vanessa.
Hi, Alex.
Whoa, looks like you've brought in some really interesting things to show us.
I think so. You see, some days I spend a lot of time above water, and other days I'm underwater. So I thought you might like to see some of my underwater equipment.
Yeah.
Beluga whales are incredibly smart. They're also incredibly sociable.
What on earth possesses you to do this for a living?
Oh, well, it's funny the things you do when you start a PhD. I went down the snot track.
Yeah.
Could have collected whale poo, but whale snot seemed like the better end.
We're right in here.
Thank you. There is, and that's the kind of the question we're trying to ask. And environmental impacts on our marine life, especially whales. And I spend a lot of time in the ocean.
Let's all give Dr. Vanessa Perotta a warm ASTA virtual welcome. Welcome, Vanessa.
Hello, and thank you so much. It is so wonderful to be here with all of you tonight, coming to you from Sydney, but of course, this is happening all around Australia, so this is just so special to be part of. And obviously, I'm very biased, but science is the coolest subject at school. Now, I'm delighted to provide you with a very small keynote today. So as I share my screen, I thought it'd be appropriate that I tell you a little bit about whales and their importance of their snot, because a lot of what I do is learning more about whales. But really, we can think about whales as indicators of change. So there's things that are happening in the ocean that we don't necessarily see. So we can learn more about those changes by learning information about whale lung health. And over time, we can compare whale health, their population health, with other whale populations around the world, but also the population health that and any changes that can occur within it. So for example, the Humpback Highway, which is along the east and the west coast of Australia, is soon to have whales all the way up. They've spent the summertime in Antarctica feeding, and now they'll be switching directions to go north to the warm breeding waters of Northern Australia. And in this picture, you might be able to see the drone up in the air there. This is the drone we developed for this very method to collect whale snot. And this is the drone up close. So this is all about STEAM, that's science, technology, engineering, art, and math, because this had to have a visual aspect. We had to design what this looked like. And as a scientist, I collaborated with drone experts. So that's a big thing in the science world, collaboration. And from that, we're the first in the world to collect whale bacteria like this, which is kind of like a PCR sample, and viruses. And then from this, we went to collecting dolphin snot, another world first, quite interesting. And then some of the other research that I do is, as a scientist, is I travel to places like Tonga, but also Antarctica. This is the very ship I went on, the CSIRO's RV Investigator. Now that ship is over 90 meters long, which means that that iceberg is massive. So you can see some of the things that we do as scientists is incredible. And just the other day, as an Antarctic Science Foundation ambassador, I flew over Antarctica. And this middle picture that you can see, yep, some of you might not know it, but that's actually Mount Erebus, which is a volcano down there. So incredible places that we get to go as scientists, but it's also about learning about the world around us. And so by studying whales, we can better understand our ocean and the changes that are going on in it. And that also reflects that we also need to consider studying the animals in our own backyard, like the citizen science project I run here in Sydney, looking at dolphins and fur seals. But also, there's some of the dolphins, working with First Nation rangers, like the Gamay Rangers, using First Nations knowledge to inform how we go about doing science. So a lot of what I do is very collaborative, but all about using technology, collaboration for conservation of wildlife, particularly in the marine environment. And I couldn't end my keynote without telling you about some of the resources that I have. And teachers, you'd be very aware of the Voyager Whale and Calf. But coming out next week is Humpback Highway. And I'm letting you all in a big secret in June, my second children's book, Oceans at Night. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, but I can just say, all I can say is I'm very, very excited to be here with you all tonight. And I will say that the wonderful work that we are celebrating this evening is often made possible by the mentors and the teachers who have inspired and supported the students along the way. I too can speak on my year 11 and 12 teacher in particular, my biology teacher, who inspired me to do great things, as well as my year 2 teacher. And that's not going back a long time. All these people had a really big impact on my life. We are now going to hear from Minister Clare, our Federal Minister for Education, who sends through his apologies for not being here with us today. He has, however, sent through a recorded message for our ceremony, and we will now hear from the Minister.
G'day everyone. I begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which you're watching today and pay my respects to elders past and present. And can I acknowledge the people who are making today's event happen? Margaret Shepherd, ASTA President, Joe White, Questacon Director and Head of Division, Professor Lynn Beasley AO, Senior Judge and former Chief Scientist of WA, Dr Vanessa Perotta, MC and Wildlife Scientist, and all of the passionate science teachers watching. Thank you for what you do. You've helped to inspire so many of your students to enter these awards. Thanks for inviting me to be part of your virtual event. This year, ASTA celebrates its 40th anniversary, which is an incredible achievement. I've said before that our teachers do the most important job in the world because it's our teachers who inspire young Australians to aim higher, to work harder, to be braver, to be kinder, and to believe in themselves. And that's exactly what you do. Tonight, we're also celebrating some absolutely amazing students. I'm told there were 67 STEM projects shortlisted from more than 10,000 entries. I want to say a big congratulations to everyone who entered, and of course to all the winners. From water filters during floods to emergency service apps and developing safer hard hats. The projects shortlisted are incredible examples of science in action. STEM projects that are solving real problems, that have the potential to save lives and make this world a better place. This is exactly why we need more young Australians studying STEM and why science teachers are so important. These awards celebrate all of that and the incredible work that you do. Australia needs more scientists and more engineers and more IT specialists. We need more people like you. What you'll do in the years ahead will help to shape and make and reimagine our future. And that's why these awards are important, because what you're doing is important. And what we hope you'll do in the future is even more important. And I hope that this recognition inspires you and urges you on. Congratulations. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do next.
How wonderful was that to hear from our Federal Minister for Education, the top person in Australia for education? How great was that? And I will pass on a message of thanks to Minister for his kind words. Very, very special. And I very much echo his sentiments to all nominees to join the ranks of incredible STEM researchers, scientists, innovators, or perhaps those who have to become a science educator or communicator like myself. I didn't even know that science communication was a thing. I just started talking about science because people asked me about what I was doing. And I found that it was very important to share knowledge with not just scientists, but across all generations. And this is what I'm trying personally to do to get other scientists to do, because it's so important. Now, I proudly would like to introduce Jo White, Director of Questacon, who is sponsoring the ASTA iCubed Excellent Awards. Please welcome Jo.
Thank you, Vanessa. And I think your science is really cool and you're a fabulous science communicator. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I'm joining you here from the lovely Ngunnawal land here in Canberra. The sun's gone down and the buses are arriving here at the Questacon Centre, where we love welcoming schools to our beautiful centre, and we love doing our work nationally to promote and inspire everyone in STEM. Look, you'll hear it echoed again tonight, but there's some big opportunities and also some big challenges ahead. And we do need some amazing skilled professionals out there. So I urge this talented group, out of 10,000, that's remarkable in terms of coming down to this group. So congratulations, and really do consider a career in STEM. I'd also just like to give a shout out to my own journey for my incredible parents and my two amazing Year 11 and 12 science teachers, biology teachers, who ignited my passion in science. And I recognise the importance of your carers, your amazing teachers and principals in helping you on your pathway as well. So a big shout out for them. So at Questacon, we're really proud to have sponsored the Excellence Awards in recognition of inquiry and innovation within age categories. And the judges have done a remarkable job. They've ranked all the projects within the age categories, and it's absolutely my privilege to announce the winners this evening. Now, when I do, I'm going to ask for some reactions. So you've got them there, ready for your reactions, hearts, thumbs, clap. But when we do, let's celebrate, because they're an amazing achievement to have won. So let's begin. Primary Excellence Awards. So this is for Year 5, 6. And for the award for Excellent Award for Inquiry goes to Amy Dew from the Presbyterian Ladies College, New South Wales. Your project on exceptional adaptations, a project that explores how the shape of eggs of a particular nesting seabird was well adapted to keep the eggs in place on a windy cliffs. So congratulations, that's an amazing project. Well done. Our next winner in innovation, so this is Excellence Award for Innovation, goes to Oscar Landry, Byron Lang and Sean Barrett from Glasshouse Christian College, Queensland, for their, wait for it, portable water purifier. Amazing. Together, they engineered a water filter to assist those in flood-stricken areas with rigorous testing for the best filtration materials. So relevant to all the issues that we have today. So congratulations, a huge congratulations to our Year 5 and 6 Primary Excellence winners. And now we announce the Junior Year 7, 8 Excellent Award winners. So the first category for inquiry, the inquiry for the Junior Excellence Award goes to Chloe Yu from Norwood International High School, South Australia, for your project on the effects of climate change on seed germination and plant growth. This explored the optimum pH and water levels that lead to plants producing viable seeds. And before I came here to Questacon, I was with the Royal Botanic Gardens as a Director of Science looking after seed banks, so that's very close to my heart. So congratulations. And now I move to the award for innovation, the Junior Excellence Award in the Year 7, 8 category, and it goes to Lillian Preston from Presbyterian Ladies College, New South Wales. And a great title to your project here, Baldylocks and the Three Hares, the Curse of the Hard Hat and the Lady Tradie. So an investigation into materials and their properties to determine which one would best suit to provide comfort and protection for women wearing a hard hat. So encouraging in so many ways for those working within engineering as well. Congratulations. So huge congratulations to our Year 7 and 8 Junior Excellence winners. And now we move to the announcement of the intermediate Year 9 to 10 Excellent Award winners. So the first, for inquiry, the award goes to Lily Rothvale from Presbyterian Ladies College, New South Wales. Congratulations. Power Tower, great name. Can the motion of a wave induced by buildings a sway generate electricity using electromagnetic induction? This project investigated how high-rise structures could be generating electricity by harnessing the energy from liquid dampeners that prevent them from naturally swaying. So that's a fabulous project, helping us with our transitions. Fantastic. And now for our next award winner, which is again our top year 9-10 innovation project in this Intermediate Excellence Award, and it goes to Carlos Mafti and Charlie Tar Sinase from Queensland Academy for Science, Mathematics and Technology, Queensland. Congratulations. And your exciting project titled Educational Economic Market Simulated, or EEMS. So together, Carlos and Charlie developed a software program that gamified how students learn about a Year 7 economics concept related to income models. That's super clever, thank you. And so that's a huge congratulations now to our Year 9-10 Intermediate Excellence winners. Congratulations. And now I move us to the announcement of the Senior or Year 11 and 12 Excellent Award winners. So the first winner for inquiry for the Senior Excellence Award goes to William Goodwin from the UC Senior Secondary College, Lake Ginninderra, here in the ACT. And it's a study of the edge effect of relative biodiversity in the Black Mountain Nature Reserve in Canberra. Another one close to my heart. I used to love ecology. And this investigated how changes in population and biodiversity are impacted by the boundary of two habitats. Congratulations on another amazing project. And now the winner for innovation and the Senior Excellence Award. And this project this is for Year 11 and 12. Ral Kumar from Brisbane Grammar School in Queensland. Congratulations, Ral.
Raoul, for this amazing investigation into the emergency call service in Australia and the development of a modern and efficient contact system. This looked at the design to be a more efficient emergency call service that is more inclusive and accessible for a wider range of users that has the potential to save more lives. Such a practical and an innovative project. There we go. So that was the final award for this group. And they're all been so inspiring, and it's been wonderful to celebrate with so many of you wonderful future scientists and engineers tonight. I congratulate everyone on your remarkable achievements. These projects really do highlight your commitment to improving our future world. And I do hope, that you can have an exciting and rewarding career in STEM. So I do wish you every success for your future. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Jo. That was wonderful. Congratulations to the ASTA iCubed Excellent Award winners. And thank you, Jo and Questacon, for sponsoring these prizes. If you've not been to Questacon, I'm sure many of us have. Questacon is the ultimate fun place for science. And it is just incredible. And there's exciting new things happening there. And we've just heard about something exciting, which I won't announce, but keep an eye on their website because there's an exciting exhibition coming very shortly. So we continue these awards, very exciting for all those people watching around Australia. We are going right around Australia right now. As mentioned earlier, UNICEF is sponsoring and awarding the UNICEF Australia Award. UNICEF Australia is working with children, young people, communities, governments to protect children from the worst impacts of the climate crisis. We know climate change is changing childhood. So one of UNICEF's goals is to empower children and young people with education, skills, and opportunity to lead climate action. This award recognises a primary school student project that directly benefits the community and can be implemented in a natural disaster or contributes to climate adaptation. I am pleased to announce that the winner of the UNICEF Australia Award is going to, you ready for it? Here we go, the suspense. Oscar Landry, Byron Lange, Sean Barrett from Glasshouse Christian College, Queensland, for your project, Portable Water Purifier. Massive clap all around. How cool is that? Their project is centred in the Northern Rivers area of New South Wales, which was an area that UNICEF worked with partners to conduct post-flood needs assessment. This is very important and timely. Congratulations for developing a STEM solution to this local problem through your award-winning project. Now, Minister Husick, our Federal Minister for Industry, Science and Resources, has sent his apologies for not being here with us tonight. He has, however, sent through his best wishes to all the finalists that we are celebrating here today. And he will no doubt be keeping a close eye on what you're up to in the future, because after all, we are preparing the scientists of tomorrow using the amazing skill sets of scientists and teachers and guardians and parents all around to help foster this truly special next generation and multiple generations. This is why it's so important. So with that, it has been my absolute pleasure to be here with you tonight, but the night's not over. So I'm now about to hand back to Dan, and congratulations once again to all the wonderful winners. I'm very excited to watch your progress and your next steps. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Perrotta. Well done, everybody. There's so many people that should be celebrated, as well as all those winners there. Everybody who's entered, absolutely congratulations. Give yourselves a pat on the back. Now we're moving on to the part of the evening where you get to hear from these semi-finalists. These semi-finalists get the chance to tell you about their projects. Now, we have set up some breakout rooms with a semi-finalist in each room ready to share their project with you.
Okay, well, I have got to say that was very cool. Jacqueline was presenting on aerodynamics, and so we're talking about aerodynamics, also thinking about underwater dynamics. I'm a massive plane nerd, so that's why I went into that session. So absolutely loved hearing that. And yeah, well done, Nathan, for facilitating that. So fun. I hope you all learnt lots. And remember, science is very much about collaboration and connecting, great minds, your passion, as well as other people's expertise to come together to make amazing things happen. And that's why we love science here in Australia. So I am thrilled to be introducing someone who I'm a very big fan of and who has been there in my scientific journey. Personally, I think she's amazing. We all love women in science as well. I am delighted to introduce you to Professor Lynn Beazley, AO, a Fellow of the Australian Academy of Science, to present our Grand Award winners for the most outstanding projects for 2023. Professor Beazley is a distinguished neuroscientist. How cool is that? She's nice as well. Professor Beazley is a champion for gender diversity in science and the importance of science engagement in the classroom. That's right. Most of us spend time in the classroom. Most of us big kids talk about what we can do better in the classroom. And Lynn's goal is for every Australian child to learn and love science. So without further ado, please welcome Professor Lynn Beazley.
So much, Vanessa, and you're absolutely right, because I think science is really cool, and I just had a great life, and you just learn new things every day. My home is actually on Western Australia, and I join others in paying my respects to their elders past and present, but most importantly, those young people coming through, because we want a better Australia for every single. Well, you know, listening to the minister, wasn't he on the money? It was just great that he could see the importance of science and the importance of encouraging young people. And as he said, there's no more important job on the planet than being a teacher. We've all been inspired by teachers. Mine was Miss Kendall, and back in Britain, she actually took me to Charles Darwin's house. He's one of my heroes. And by the time I left, I was going to be a biologist. And I'm still learning. And I learned a lot from reading these projects and talking to the young people. My gosh, all the judges, we found it such an honor and a privilege to take part in this. And we were really blown away by the quality of the applications and the variety that we saw. You've just heard of some of the ones, the other winners. Congratulations to all of you. And you heard the diversity, the different things from different students that have really come up with great ideas. And for these most important awards that I'm going to announce, it was exactly the same. Really, 8 super semi-finalists with great projects. And so I'm going to announce, first of all, the winner of the Inventions and Innovations Grand Prize for 2013. And the award goes to, drum roll, Raoul Kumar from Brisbane Grammar School, Queensland. Congratulations, Raoul, because you have just done an amazing project. It's called Emergency Called Service Australia, and we need this. We're in such a challenging world where emergencies just pop out, whether it be bushfires, whether it be cyclones. We really do need to be able to communicate between all those emergency services. So your app that you've developed is going to make this work even better. And one of the things I loved about it, it's particularly styled for those from the disabled community who might not be able to get on otherwise, and those from non-English speaking backgrounds. So it's going to pull all our emergency services together, make them work better, and make it more accessible for people. What a brilliant project. I think it's something the whole world will want, not just here in Australia. So let's have a round of applause. Congratulations to you, Raoul. You've just done a grand job. I mean, imagine you producing that app. I'm just blown away. It's brilliant. Now for the other grand prize for 2013, and this goes to Willetton Senior High School, to Sivandra and Ban Atham, to Jaspan Steele and Mohammed Al Rafi. Round of applause. Well done. This is an amazing project. It's called Can Magnetic Iron Nanoparticles Really Save the World? Well, I think they're going to give it a good shot. So the judges particularly like this project because you actually made the nanoparticles yourselves. You made it with equipment in a common high school chemistry lab. which is, I think, pretty amazing to do. And you had to have a couple of shots at it to get it right. But once you'd done that, you found that they had an amazing property, because we know that so many of our waterways are contaminated with phosphorus, phosphates, and nitrates. They come into our oceans, they go into our river systems, and they really cause things like algal blooms that we don't want. Your amazing little particles could remove over 70% of the phosphate from a distilled water sample. And that's much higher than the other systems that we seem to have available at the moment. So it really can change the difference from an unhealthy to a healthy river or water system. So you can see why we chose that as a winner. Many congratulations. All of the finalists were extraordinary. It was a really tough task for us to choose the winners. Congratulations to all of you, and especially to Rael and the team from Willetton Senior High School. Well done, everyone. You really can change the world.
Thank you, Professor Beasley. Thank you, everybody. We are so incredibly proud of everybody here, and there's going to be a big promotional campaign that follows tonight's ceremony, and so we get to continue to celebrate their achievements. We'd like to thank CSIRO Publishing, who have agreed to publish some of our winners in their upcoming Double Helix magazine. And as mentioned, the projects for all our national finalists continue to be published and available in our virtual fair. We hope that this work inspires you to think about what your next inquiry could be as well. You could be sitting here and sharing the celebrations this time next year. All award winners, please check your inbox tonight. It's not bedtime quite yet for you. We'd like to follow up with you from tonight's ceremony. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to Dr. Pirotta, a remarkable STEM professional. Thank you for being an incredible host today. And for our final closing remarks, I'm going to hand back to Margaret, our ASTA president, for her final closing remarks.
Thank you, Dan. And thank you to you, Dan, for being our MC tonight. That you did a great job. It's been a very positive and a happy atmosphere. And look, it's just incredible that everyone who made it to this level in the first place needs to be acknowledged. That's so, so important. Someone will win, and the winners are amazing. But I tell you what, you've all certainly hit the very high bar. So well done. I really would like to thank our senior judging panel, and of course every Science Teachers Association around Australia, because hundreds and hundreds of hours go into that first stage of judging. So, you know, with so many projects coming in from all over Australia, to fine-tune that down to just a few to go into the national competition took a lot of work and a lot of passion and enthusiasm, and I'd love to thank those people personally if I could, but on behalf of everyone who's here tonight, I will pass that on. I'd also like to thank the team at ASTA, because we have a great secretariat team at the ASTA who do work behind the scenes. But you know what? The iCubed organising committee, I don't think they sleep. I think they're awake all the time. They are a terrific team, particularly the conveners, Paula Taylor and James Cleaver. So thank you to both of those. Without all of this work from everybody, tonight couldn't have happened. So a big congratulations to all of those people. So to our lovely audience, thank you for being with us tonight and sharing this celebration. We are celebrating the next generation of Australian STEM professionals. That's you guys. And we know that we're in safe hands. We know that you are passionate and committed to improving the future of Australia. And you will do that through STEM pathways, whether it's science, technology, engineering, or maths, or even the arts. I can't leave the arts out there, Vanessa, can I? So we look forward to meeting some of you again next year in the 2025 New iCubed program. So good night and farewell to all of you. And once again, congratulations. Well done. Thank you.